Hi, I'm David and welcome to LeisureBit, and today we're going to be replacing this solar controller which came installed in the van. It's wired to both the vehicle and the leisure battery with this solar controller, and we're just going to connect this one up to the leisure battery, and in a future video we'll follow on with what we're doing about keeping the vehicle battery topped up. So let's get cracking. So firstly, I just wanted to cover off why do I need to swap this one over. If you watch the previous episode, you'll see that we're installing a lithium system in the van, and this particular controller doesn't work with lithium the way I need it to work. And so I've got this one, which I'd previously bought in preparation for this, which is the Victron 75 volt 15 amp. And I've got, I think it's 135 watt, 140 watt, something like that, solar panel on the roof. So there's more than enough capacity in this one, and it keeps the size down then in terms of the solar controller. If I had another solar panel on later, I would need to upgrade it, but this is perfect for now. So what we're going to be doing today is basically just swapping that one out. The connections are simple. He says simple, but fairly simple. You've got a positive and a negative that go to your leisure battery, and you've got a positive and negative that go to the photovoltaic or solar panel, as we would know it, which is up on the roof. They're already here, ready to go, and I'm just going to disconnect the vehicle battery. And before we do any work on it, we need to make sure we've switched the power off so we don't have any accidents or short circuits. Just for reference, there's an extra couple of pairs of terminals there marked up load. You can configure that to do what you want, because you can manage this via Bluetooth with an app on your phone. Or your computer. I think you can get an app for the computer as well. I could be wrong there, but I think you can get an app for the computer as well as the phone. And what you can do there is connect it to a light or something like that, and you can control different aspects of it. So turn the power off if the battery drops below a certain amount and things like that. I'm not going to actually use this, or certainly not at this point, so we're just going to focus on connecting it up to the connections to the solar panel and the battery. So let's get on with that now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the screws on this, just so that we can free it up, and then we can get in a little bit easier. There we go, that's now loosened off. It just gives us a bit better access, and then we can get ready to fit the other controller. What I need to do now is just knock the power off for the 12 volt feed to the vehicle battery, and also, as it's daylight, I'm just going to cover the solar panel to make sure we've not got power flowing through until we're ready to connect it up. So I'm going to go and do that now. So there we go, we've connected that up, the positive and the negative to the leisure battery, and the positive and the negative to the solar panel. And there's the old controller. That's removed and replaced with the new one. And now let's take a quick look at the app. So let's talk through how the app works next. So in this case I got the app from the Apple App Store, but you can pick it up from the Android App Store as well and download it, and then you're ready. So when you open the app, it shows the devices available, and we're going to connect to the solar controller there. And that's connected up, and then it starts on the status screen and gives you the information. So here we can see there's 21.7 odd volts coming from the solar panel. We're currently sending no output to the battery because it's fully charged, and the battery voltage is about 13.3 volts, and it's in the bulk state. We've got the load output switched off, which we talked about. We'll have a look at the configuration settings in a few minutes. We can also select the history, which shows us some information on what we've already used. You can see a little bit of power there, 59 watts and 22.57 maximum. We can also see that the maximum battery point was 14.4 volts, just when we've been messing around with it there. Then back to the status screen. So to finish off on, these will work with multiple different types of battery, not just for lithium, albeit the previous controller I had wasn't compatible with lithium. It would only work with, let's double check what it would work with. It would work with sealed battery, gel and flooded battery, but not with lithium. So This one will work with lithium and all of the other types as well, which you just configure in Bluetooth, and we'll have a quick look at how we configure that up next. So we'll now go back into the app and select the Smart Solar again. That'll then connect up, and this time we're going to press the little cog at the top to go into the settings, and then we can go in and change a number of parameters. So if you had a 24 volt system, not that most campervans do, you can change it there. You can also set the maximum charge current, which we've got set on the maximum here. You can also enable the charger there, you can see with the switch, and also set the battery preset, so it's set up for the type of battery you're actually using. There's also some other options, so you can configure the load output, as I mentioned earlier, for those other two terminals in there. And there's a street light function that needs the load output enabling for that. There's smart networking if you've got multiple devices, and we'll cover that off in a future vlog. And also there's some additional settings for things like transmit and receive port, but that's not anything we're going to use today. You can also obviously have a look in there, as we looked earlier, at trends and history and the status of the device. So that just gives you a little bit of an overview of the app and the different configuration. Now, as I said earlier, you can use these not just on lithium, but on any type of leisure battery, or pretty much any type anyway. But do you really need one? It's an MPPT controller, which is maximum peak performance tracking, which tries to optimize how much light there is to power output, and they can be more efficient than the PWM or pulse width modulation versions, but the only time you'd really notice a difference is when you're starting to put maybe 120, 150, 200 watts worth of solar on. Now, I fitted it for two reasons. One, I'll probably expand the solar later, but actually I probably need to upgrade that anyway. And secondly, I actually want to make sure that it works and is fully compatible with the lithium system I'm installing. So prerequisite for that is the primary reason. If you've not got a lithium battery and you've got a PWM controller, and it's only a, let's say, 100 or even 200 amp hour battery with a single solar panel, in all honesty, you're probably best just saving your money, because those cost between 80 and 100 pounds typically, sometimes a little bit more, but that's the sort of price point they run at. If you're looking to upgrade later, it might be worth getting the slightly more powerful version of it, so maybe the higher voltage, but for my setup it's more than adequate, and it just keeps the size down there. So there's our MPPT Solar Controller, which is now compatible with lithium and configured for lithium. Thank you for watching. Catch us on the next one, where we're going to have a look at how we charge the 12 volt battery in the vehicle with any surplus power from the leisure side of things, including the solar. Thank you. I'll catch you next time. Bye.